Beyond the Boundary powered by Elista. Just ahead of the start of the Under-19 T20 World Cup, we caught up with Salliann Beams, who's Cricket Tasmania's head of high performance. She has closely watched Amy Smith's game, so let's see what she has to say about Amy Smith.
स्मार्ट हो रहा है इंडिया जैसे इंडिया में बना एलिस्टा स्मार्ट एलईडी टीवी विद वर्ल्ड क्लास क्लैरिटी एंड अमेजिंग फीचर्स.
First of all, do you remember the first time you saw Amy Smith?
Yes, I do actually. And it was very interesting because there was almost a reluctance to want to meet me, so to speak. She was 12 years of age. All she ever known was playing cricket with the boys. So coming into a female environment was not something she was used to or wanted to do. But God, I knew how talented she was. And she was actually one of the main reasons what excited me about the role at Cricket Tasmania, and that we've got hope in achieving what we want to achieve, because, you know, you want Tasmanians coming through the system and you've got a player that's only played boys cricket and doesn't want to get involved in women's cricket. So, you know, she's a tough character. She can handle herself. She's played, her early years experience of playing cricket has been tough from the outset, because it is tougher playing with the boys at that age. So yeah, and she had long hair and a cap, refused to tie her hair up. That was what she was known for. So I used to bowl with her hair going everywhere. God knows how she saw, I don't know, but yeah, she's finally tied it back.
Since the first time you saw her till now, how do you see her growth in cricket?
Do you know what? First of all, it's just been an absolute privilege and a pleasure to watch her grow into, you know, an incredible athlete for one, but a great human being. You know, these are the conversations that I'll have with her, in the sense that, you know, she's had a tough upbringing, but she's managed to find her way through, and she's an absolute pleasure to be in company with. She don't get me wrong, all players can be testing at times and push your buttons, but to see her grow the way she has, and then on the field, like if you're in a pressurized situation, and there's one person who likes to deal with pressure, and that's Amy. There's so many examples of her putting her hand up when it's mattered the most. You know, from her first WBBL competition, when she'd taken, I think, most of the international cap players, actually. Yeah. That you know, that's what we laughed at. She only took the big players. She didn't want to take wickets of anyone less. And then there was actually a really great game at Twin Ovals against WA, where we were, you know, the game was in the balance, and she came on and bowled the last over and finished it off for us. It was a key over, and she did it at such a young age. So yeah, and she's finally turned 18. So actually the first time would have been when she was 14, because I've only been here 5 years. But yeah, it's great to see her, you know, finally turn 18.
14 years of age, and she made her Tasmanian debut for WNCL, and from that then WBBL. Do you think that to know that even the underage cricketers have this kind of system in place for them makes it a little bit easier for coaches and administrators to kind of invest in them and prepare them for what is probably the senior international role at that time, but now with the introduction of under-19, it's better to have this pathway system?
Absolutely. And I think now we've got the under-19 World Cup, and actually more franchise cricket around the world, it makes the pathway system in any country absolutely vital, because, you know, I was just saying earlier, to be a female professional cricketer now is nothing more exciting, with the new IPL coming out, and you're seeing the retainers and how much they're worth. You know, what we're trying to do is not only build a great pathway system, we're trying to fast track players to get them ready at that level. You don't want to rush it, but my word, you know, you've got to get them prepared, because there's a lot of pressure playing around the world, not only just for your state team. So yeah, and that's something that Amy, I think, is coming through at the right time. She's 18 now. Who knows where she can be in a few years' time?
And she is a WNCL champion, and to go into the international champion knowing that you are part of a successful team. I remember you telling me that if you want to be successful, first you have to see success, and now she's seen that success. And do you think that that kind of grit that came from that success has made her even better player when she goes on and plays for the under-19 team?
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, we've had this conversation before, but learning how to win is an actual skill set itself. So, you know, when she started, I think her debut when she played, I think it was against Victoria in Frankston, she was part of a Tasmanian team with a lot of Tasmanian homegrown who actually had lost more games than they'd won, which, you know, it's hard to then change that unless you play for another 5 years, where Amy is a Tasmanian player who has won more games than she's lost.
Yeah.
And that's now setting the culture and our environment of, you know, what we expect from anyone that's going to come in to be one of our contracted players. So, you know, she knows how to win games of cricket. She's got some fantastic cricketers around her, and that's what's going to happen when you represent the under-19s, because, you know, they're the best players in the country. And you know, some of those girls I expect are going to be looking towards Amy, knowing that she's a champion and knows how to get there. And she probably underestimates that. You know, she probably feels she's just a girl from Tasmania, and there's a lot of perception with that. But like you say, she knows how to win titles.
I just want to ask you if you have any message for Amy and the entire team. So we'll do the Amy message first and the team message afterwards.
Yeah, I've already dropped Amy a message actually to obviously wish her good luck. But the key thing for me, because she's a little bit of an introvert and a quiet soul, her main task is for the coaches to truly understand who she is, to let people in, because as soon as she can do that, she's going to be an absolute sponge and learn more. Therefore, her growth is going to develop. But that's her biggest challenge for me. I know as soon as you put a ball in her hand and she goes on the pitch, she's going to put her hand up. She does it all the time. So yeah, make the most about this trip, and she'll come back a far better player.
And what's your message for the Australian team?
Yeah, girls, look, the key thing is being courageous on these world competitions. If you're not courageous, you're not going to find out what you can do, and you might even surprise yourself. So yeah, get in the contest, put your hand up, make sure you take everything on. But most of all, and which I say to a lot of our younger players, is just make sure you're the best teammate can be, because that's the one thing that you can control. And if you leave knowing that someone's got your back and you've got their back, you know, it's going to be a strong team and you're going to work together.
स्मार्ट हो रहा है इंडिया, जैसे इंडिया में बना एलिस्टा स्मार्ट एलईडी टीवी with world class clarity and amazing features.